Hi everyone, thank you for joining me today. My name is Diana and welcome to Get Your Play Online. Today we will be doing our very own back to school vision board. Now if you don't know what a vision board is a collage of pictures and words on a piece of paper that gives you motivation and inspiration to work towards a specific goal. And yeah, so that's what we will be doing today. We will be doing our very own back to school vision board because school just began. So what you need for this activity is you will need construction paper. You can actually use any color you want, or if you don't have construction paper, no worries, you can always use a blank sheet of white paper. If you don't have construction paper, I just thought construction paper would be helpful just because you can choose different colors and it's actually a little bit more sturdy. Also, you're going to need some markers. You're going to need a pencil, an eraser, a pair of scissors because we're going to be cutting out pictures and words from magazines, which then brings me to my next part. You're going to need some magazines, old ones of course, because we're going to be cutting things out. So if you really love a certain magazine, don't choose that one because you are going to be cutting things out. So grab some old magazines. If you don't have magazines, newspapers works, flyers works. They do have words and pictures and flyers in newspaper, so that works as well. And you're going to need a glue stick. And again, if you don't have a glue stick, you can always use tape. Alright, so first things first is we're going to think about a goal. So I know everyone is back in school and we all want to achieve something in this school year. So it could be academic, it could be something like making just new friends, hanging out with a new group of people. You can think about joining a sports team. So it doesn't need to be academic, it doesn't need to be getting an A in math class, it doesn't need to be anything subject related, just anything you want to achieve in this school year. So yeah, it's up to you. For my back to school vision board that I created last time, as an example, I said my goal is to achieve an A in math class by the end of the school year. So that was my specific goal that I was working towards, that I will be working towards if I was in school, but that is a goal that I did for my own vision board. So that's just an example. So I want you to think first what specific goal you would want to achieve this school year. And once you have that, then we're going to choose our paper. And I suggest not using black just because we are going to be writing on it, and if you use black then you won't be able to see it. So choose like another color that you will be able to see when you write with your pencil and your markers after. So for this particular activity with you today, I'm going to be choosing, it's a beige color. You really can't see it because we're live here, but I'm going to choose beige. And once you have your paper, you can just simply pull it out of the pad, gently, of course. If not, you can always use scissors to cut it out. Let me do that here. I'll show you. There you go. And then, so it's up to you if you want to do yours portrait style or landscape style. It's totally up to you, portrait, landscape. My last activity, I did landscape style. So I'm going to now, today, just to do it differently, I'm going to do it portrait style. Okay, so the first step, make sure you have all your activities with you. That is always number one, to make sure that you have everything and we're ready to go. Make sure you're on a flat surface because we will be writing and using our markers, so it's always important to write on a flat surface so you can print properly. And then once you have all that ready, we can use our pencil because we're going to write the title. So the title is back to school goals, and I wrote it here in the middle last time, but you can write it on your piece of paper. You can write it anywhere you want. Today I'm going to do it on the top of my paper just for something different, but it's up to you where you want it to go. The title is back to school goals, so I'm going to write it. You can go ahead and write yours as well. There you go. Back to school goals. So that is step number one, or actually step two, if you think about it. You have your piece of paper, and then you are writing back to school goals. Give you a minute there. All right. So now the next step is I'm going to, you're going to think about your goal. So if you did have a goal in mind, then now's the time to write it. So if you don't have a goal, again, think about it right now. So the goal that I am going to do this time, my goal last time, like I said before, my goal was to achieve an A in math class by the end of the year. This goal I'm going to do for this activity is I'm going to try to make a sports team. Any sport you want, soccer, basketball. My goal for this activity is try to make it onto the school soccer team. So once you have your goal in mind, you're going to start and write the sentence, my goal is, with a colon then, there it is, my goal is, colon, and then you're going to write down your goal. So for me, I'm going to write, my goal is make it onto the school soccer team. And you can write it anywhere you want. Again, we're being flexible. You can do the spots that you want. So last time I chose it to do in the corner, but you can do it anywhere you want on your piece of paper. So I'm going to just write it for me underneath my title, just right on the side here. So we want to start with my goal is, and then write your goal. So I'm going to write mine, and then you can go ahead and write yours as well. I did a mistake, so that's why I have my eraser with me. Okay. So I said, I don't know if you can see. So for the purpose of this, oh, there we go. So for the purpose of this video, I'm actually going to write it in pen just for you to see on camera. Because it's really hard to see when you, it's in pencil. So for you, I'm just going to write it in pen and write it over top of my pencil just for you to see on camera. Okay, hopefully you can see that better. There you go. My goal is be on the school soccer team. So that is my goal for the year. So I know I'm gonna have to work real hard to be on the school soccer team, which then leads me to the next step of this activity. So the next step is we're gonna write steps to how we're going to achieve this goal. So for my last goal of getting an A, I wrote steps to reaching my goal. I said step 1, complete my math homework. Step 2, study for my math test. And step 3, ask my teacher for help if I do not understand. So if I do these steps, then that's going to achieve my goal of getting an A in math class. So I want you now to think about, I'm going to say 2 or 3 steps that you can do that will help you achieve your goal. So you can take a minute, take as long as you want to think about how you're going to achieve this goal. So I'm going to think about, if I want to be on the school soccer team, how can I achieve that goal? So we're going to start by writing the sentence, or sorry, beginning of the sentence. Steps to reaching my goal. And then you're going to follow up with step 1, step 2, and step 3. It's okay if you do 2 steps, that's okay. 3 steps. And if you have more steps, that's totally up to you of how you will achieve your goal. So we're going to write on our paper, steps to reaching my goal. Again, you can do it anywhere you want on your piece of paper. You decide. I'm going to write it just right below. Again, you don't need to follow where I'm placing it. You can even just do it on this side, on the other side of the piece of paper, on the bottom. It's up to you, the placement of where you want to put that. So I am going to write steps to reaching my goal, colon, and then I will list them. So you go ahead and do that as well. So once I just went over it in pen, steps to reaching my goal, then you can list your steps. So step 1 would be, for me, if I want to make it onto the school soccer team, then step 1 for me is go to every practice after school that they have. That would be my first step. I want to be there and practice with my team. Or sorry, not practice with my team because I'm not on the soccer team, but I'm going to practice after school. I'm going to come home, so step 2 would be practice at home. And I would say step 3, so I know when I was in high school or in elementary school, at the older age, if I didn't complete or if I didn't have a good grade, then I wasn't able to make it on any team. So I don't know if that's the way it is today, but that's how it was when I was in school. So for me, if I wanted to make it onto the school soccer team, my grades needed to be at where they should have been, a level B and higher. If I was failing, then the coach wasn't going to pick me for the soccer team. So I would say a step for me in my goal would be to keep up with my grades, study, do my homework, all that stuff to make it onto the school soccer team, or else they wouldn't be able to pick me. So that is my step to reaching my goal. Again, if your goal is different, then think about what steps you can do to achieve your goal. So whether if you were, let's say, you wanted an A in math class, you're going to do your homework, you're going to study. If your goal was to make new friends, then you're going to put a step to reach your goals. You're going to put yourself out there. You're going to talk to other people. You're going to sit beside other people in class. That is a way to make new friends. So whatever goal you have, just think about what you can do to achieve this goal in this school year. So I'm going to go ahead and write my steps for my goal right here, right now. And you can go ahead and write yours. Okay, so I wrote steps to reach my goal of making it to the school soccer team. I am going to, step 1, practice playing soccer with my friends and family. Step 2, I'm going to keep up with my grades because, like I said, some schools don't let you be on the soccer team or any team if you are failing in your academics. So I'm going to keep up with my grades to make it to the soccer team. And step 3, I'm going to go to tryouts. So that is 3 steps I can do to reach my goal for the school year. So I have it here. I don't know if you see. I wrote it in pen. Some of them and others I didn't. Just to show you real quick. And there you go. Alright, so once you have steps to reach your goal, the next part of this activity is how will you know you have reached your goal? So, just looking back at my last example of achieving an A in math class, I will know I have reached my goal because I got an A, I have gotten an A as a final grade. I feel happy about myself and I understand my math a lot better. So that is how I will know I have reached my goal of getting an A in math class. So, thinking about your own goal right now, how will you know you have reached your goal? So, if my goal is to be on the soccer team, then I have reached my goal by knowing I have made it on the soccer team. If I made it to the soccer team, I have reached my goal. But not only that, I feel happy about myself that I took the time and I practiced every day to get to this goal. So I know I've reached my goal because I feel happy about myself. That's another way you know you're just happy, you feel accomplished. If your goal let's say, is making new friends. If you have met new people and you are talking to them throughout the day in school or outside of school, you have reached your goal. So we're going to, again, write on your piece of paper, anywhere you want on your piece of paper. I'm just going to continue down again. And you will write now, I will know I have reached my goal because ... And you can list 2 or 3 things or more if you feel like it of how you know you have reached your goal. So again, write on your piece of paper, I will know I have reached my goal because ... And then you can list reasons of why you think you have reached your goal. Okay, so I'm going to do it on my piece of paper. So I wrote, I will know I have reached my goal because, and then you can just do bullet points of how you know you have reached your goal. Okay, so I wrote, I will know I have reached my goal of being on the school soccer team because I made it on the school soccer team. I'm happy with myself and I'm better at my soccer skills. So that is how I will know I have reached my goal. And the last final step, every goal can be measured in time actually. So that is a good goal. When you have a start date and an end date, that is a very specific, well thought out goal. So we're going to think about when's your start date and when's your end date for your goal. So anywhere on your piece of paper, you can write goal start date. So I'm going to just continue on. Again, you can write it anywhere you want on your piece of paper. So I'm going to write goal start date. And I'm just going to pick today's date. September 19th is when I'm going to start with my goal. And then you're going to write goal completed date. So when do you feel that you will complete this goal? Will it take you all year? Will it take you half the year? How long do you feel you will accomplish this goal? So I wrote it down on the piece of paper. I don't know if you can actually see that. There. Goal start date, I put today's date. Goal completed date, I'm going to say the end of the school year. I don't know when the soccer team is playing. but I can always adjust my goal if I know if it's earlier in the year or the end of the year. But I'm going to say the end of the school year, which here is in June. So I'm just going to put June 2022. There you go. All right, so we have completed all our written work for our back to school vision board. Again, just to recap, we did our goal. We did steps to reaching our goal. How you will know you have reached your goal. Sorry, I'm trying to make you see that. There you go. Steps to reaching your goal. How will you know if you have reached your goal? And the start date and the completed goal date. So once you have all that completed, now it is time to grab your markers and just make it colorful. So pencil is pretty boring, so we want to make it colorful with our markers and go over what you have wrote and just make it colorful, make it stand out. So I'm going to bring you back down here, and you can go ahead and do that while I do that for myself as well. If you feel you need more time, this is also recorded as well. So if you feel that I am going too fast with the steps, you can always go back to this video when we are done here, and you can pause it, and when you feel you are ready to move on to the next step, you can always play it again. I hope everyone's having a good school year so far. I know it's pretty different with COVID, but I hope we go back to normal pretty soon. I know it's definitely not the same. I'm on the last bit here. Goal start date. Middle of September already. Wow. Okay. So I made it look better because it's now colored. I wrote over it with marker, so now it pops out at me. So this is now my favorite part. So you're going to grab your scissors and your old magazines. I'm just going to choose one right now. And you're going to cut out images or words or quotes, anything you find in the magazines that relates to your goal. It actually doesn't even need to relate to your goal. It can just be any words or images of inspiration, things that make you happy, and that gives you motivation to work towards the goal. So if you look back to my last creation of my vision board, I had a picture of a pig with some glasses, and that actually made me happy. It's actually math related. It's a piggy bank, so it is math related. But this little guy, he's smiling, and it has nothing to do towards my goal, but it just makes me happy. So if you find anything in your magazines that gives you inspiration, that makes you happy, that is related to your goal, cut it out, and you can place it onto your vision board. If you don't want to cut it out, you can always just rip around it, and then you can put it on. So I think the best way to do this is cut anything you want from your magazines, and then just place it where you feel you would want that specific word, picture, quote, and then at the end you can glue it. So if you find something else, I feel this is the best way, just because if you do find something else and you have glued it already on your piece of paper, then it's a lot harder to peel it off and move it to another place. So cut the pictures that you want, anything in the magazines, and then place it. And then when you're happy with the setup on your paper, then that's the last step. The last step is you can glue it, because you already know where things go, what you want, where you want it to be placed. So go ahead now and go through your magazine and cut anything that you feel gives you inspiration, motivation, determination, something that will get you inspired in the morning to make you want to practice and go towards your goal. So I just flipped through the page right now and I found the word happier. Yes, sorry, I can't see because of the glare, but happier on this. Oh, there it is. Happier. So I think that word is perfect to go onto my vision board, because I'm working towards a goal and that is making me happy. So I'm going to cut it, and then I'm going to just put it on my vision board right now, and then just keep going through the magazines and picking out words, again, quotes, pictures that you feel is best for your goal. I'm just going to actually put on some music while we do this. go to different magazines if one is not throwing any images at you that you want. So I just found a picture of someone sleeping, and I feel that relates to my goal, because if I don't have the energy, then that's not going to make me be a good soccer player. I need energy, I need sleep to get me to reach my goal. If I'm not sleeping right, if I don't get enough sleep, I know my skills are not going to be the best. So this is something that I would need to get me to reach my goal. And I'm seeing food. I know it doesn't relate to my goal, but it does. It actually does, because I need good, nutritious food so I have the energy to make it to the school soccer team. If I'm slacking, if I don't have the skills in tryouts, then I'm not going to be picked. So I need good, nutritious food so I can have the energy to play. So it's just a reminder that if you eat, let's just say, junk food all the time, you're not going to feel the best. When you start running and you eat candy and all that stuff, you're not going to feel the best when you start running on the field. So you need to fill your body with lots of good food, good protein, fruits. So it's just a daily reminder to eat well, just so I can reach that goal. Another person sleeping. In this magazine. I'm excited to see everyone's back to school vision board. Just found the word leisure. And that's Luckily, soccer is a leisure, it's a hobby that I enjoy. Now when you place your pictures, it can always come off the paper. So you'll see here my word leisure is coming off the paper. That's okay. That is totally okay. Just, I feel, don't cover up your words just because that defeats the purpose of your vision board. But you can always play around with the words. You can put it on top, you can have spaces. It's up to you how full you want your vision board. We have 20 minutes or so we can be together. I'm just looking at words that would pop out at me. Wellness, that's great, that's perfect. Just gonna cut around wellness. Hashtag wellness. Because when you work towards your goal, it does create wellness. You are doing something you're doing something for yourself, and that makes you happy. It can be a little tricky sometimes to find pictures or words to go with your goals. It just takes some time, but oh, here's the word trust. But it will come through, you will find stuff. So trust, because you trust in yourself. Looking for words. right in front of me. Get outside. That's perfect. When my goal is soccer. So it just reminds me, if I am laying in bed, get outside. Get outside and work on your soccer skills. I think that will help me achieve my goal. Alright, so for the purpose of time, you can continue on if you feel you need more, if you want more. But for the purpose of time, I'm going to just wrap it up. And that once we're done here, I feel I'm not quite finished yet. Just because I feel like there is a lot of space on my mine. And I don't really like that. For myself, I like it a little bit more fuller. So once we're done here, I'm going to go back and find some more pictures that I can use, or more words. But if you, for time, if you're not done yet, no worries, you can always continue on. But once you are done and you feel that you don't want to look anymore, that you are happy with your vision board, you can place it, the pictures, the words, the quotes, anywhere you want that you feel you like. So again, it's okay to go off if the picture is off the page, and you can overlap. Actually, this is good. You can do it this way. See, it's a good reason why we're not gluing yet, because I'm like back and forth how I like my vision boards look. This can go here, leisure. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. Okay, so you can go ahead and grab your glue stick and you can start gluing it down. Once you are happy with the placement of your pictures and words, you can go ahead and start gluing them down. If you don't have glue, you can use tape. That works as well. Do this one first. Would love to see your own back to school vision boards. You can always post a picture in the comments if you feel you want to share. Yes, I wanted this here. All right. So I'm going to show you what I created here. So back to school goals, we have our goals, steps to reaching our goals, how I know I've reached my goal, and my goal start date and goal completed date. And these are the pictures that I found that gets me motivated, that relates to my goal. Athlete, trust in myself that I can work towards this goal. I'm be happier if I accomplish this goal. Leisure, because I love playing soccer in my spare time. Great food, because you always need good food when you want to, if you want to play soccer, you need energy and good food to keep you going. Wellness, get outside. So you get outside is a motivation for me, exclamation mark, to get outside to work on my soccer skills to meet my goal of being on the soccer team. And then I have this little fellow here that is sleeping because I need the energy to play soccer. So this is what I created, and I can put it anywhere I want once you're completed, anywhere you want as well, to remind you to work towards your goal. So this you can put it in your room, you can put it on the fridge, you can put it in your locker in school if you want it to be visible for you to see in your locker. It's just a constant reminder to work towards your goal and to do the steps over here to work towards that goal. So it's just a constant reminder to work towards the goal for this school year. So that is all that I have for this activity. I hope you enjoyed making your very own back to school vision board. I'd be excited to see it again if you want to share. If you don't, no worries. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me on this Sunday afternoon. If you want to hang out with us again, we have wellness with Sammy at 3 p.m. and we have another arts and crafts activity with Emma at 5 p.m. So thank you so much for joining Get Your Play Online. I had a great time making this with you. Be sure to check out Get Your Play Online as well, with there is lots of activities, blogs, videos for you to create fun activities for all ages. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really enjoyed this, making it with you. So have a good Sunday, and have a good week at school. Bye.